Hello and welcome to Month of Copilot, June 2024. First of all, big thank you to Zoe and Kevin to organize this great event, and I'm really happy to do my session about accelerate your AI journey with Microsoft Viva. My name is Pascal Brunner. I'm from Switzerland and also Microsoft MVP, but I'm also a LinkedIn top voice. So of course, super happy to connect with you all on LinkedIn. And we are really deep dive in this session to look together how Viva could or do accelerate the AI journey and how this is really a better together story. So let's start with the content I'm going to provide. Of course, I think a really important topic is the current trend in modern work. Some of you probably already know from the Work Trend Index. I will cover in this session the Work Trend Index from last year, 2022, but in my other month of Copilot session, Copilot Your Day, I'm also deep dive into the modern work or Work Trend Index 2024. After that, we will have a look at Microsoft Viva and also how this accelerate the AI journey. But I think it's also important to really see a live demo that you can see how does it look like to use Viva in a day-by-day life scenarios, and then also give a short what's next and overview also from a Copilot and Viva perspective. When we look back to 2023, of course, we have several different use cases and trends, but looking back to 2021, where we are struggling with remote work, we have the are you ready from remote work? So in this Work Trend Index was all about how can we do a successful remote work? How can we enable our employees in remote work? And the next year was all about hybrid work and the expectation also from employer, but also from employees, and how to make hybrid work, because this was quite new for most of the people, and was a great adoption part and wasn't that easy. And of course, ever since last year, it's all about AI, and the last or this Work Trend Index is will AI fix work? And of course, I think since January, February 2023, we heard everything about Copilot at Microsoft with the announcement, but also how AI will change the way we work. And I think it's quite important to have a look why this is important, why AI is also a big topic for us to accelerate our personal work. Because when we have a look at the three key findings of 2023, there were, on the one hand side, digital debt. So this refers to the overwhelming volume of data, emails, and chat that employees have to deal with daily, and which takes away from creative work that leads to innovation. So we have a really concern for most of the people, and about 60% of employees reported spending their time on communicating, coordination, and leaving just 40% for creation, deep thinking, and collaboration. I think this is a really tremendous number to have in mind, that we are just in our daily work, but we do not have the time to really create new stuff, to create a creative space for our daily work where we are as human beings are super powerful. And the volume of data, emails, and chat that employees have to deal with daily has outpaced our ability to process it all. So this also refers to that, but I think here comes really AI into place, because what we see is that every employee needs AI skills, because once we have this AI and employee relationship and alliance, this is kind of a new power, and this is really helpful to face those issues with more and more in communication, rather than just collaborate and create new stuff. Because going one step further, we see barely 2 days a week we are spending on mails and meetings. And also, meeting is the number one productivity disruptor. And once we had in mind with the remote works, maybe 2 years ago, where we saw this great potential and do not meet in person, but we can do all over the world and so on. At the same time, the meetings has increased 3 times. And this is just a crazy number. And I think I do have also days where I have just back-to-back meetings, and it shouldn't be that hard. And when we have in mind, how can we gap this? And there is exactly where AI come into place. But at the same time, it's quite important to have also the employees on this journey. And how do you support your employees and make them really AI ready for the AI transformation, to get the new skills they need in a day-by-day life? And this is exactly where Viva comes into place, because Microsoft Viva is your employee experience platform that enables you on all different levels. And for an organization, this is for any size full potential to accelerate the AI journey. And I'm going to cover why and what Microsoft Viva is. So first of all, I think we all saw that AI is here to stay, especially with Copilot. We have this integration into the flow of work. Some say the ChatGPT for an organization, in a trusted platform where all the permission and security guidelines are respected. And the same is for Microsoft Viva. So the employee experience platform is super important, because when we compare it to the customer experience, I think no one is longer questioning if it's worth to invest in a great customer experience. But at the same time, employees are our biggest asset for every organization. So it's super important to also invest in the employee experience platform, because this also guides to better performance, and this then to better results as an organization. So it's really a win-win scenario. And Microsoft Viva do have 3 big pillars. On the one hand side, we have all about drive, mission, and alignment. So on the one hand side, we have goal setting, but also leadership, engagement, and communication in the workforce, campaigns, and analytics. But on the other hand, we have the measure, engagement, and productivity, where we want to give the employees a voice and that they can do their surveys, and we understand the sentiment and the behavior of their collaboration, to then not only prevent burnout, but also to enable them to use the tools and the spending hours in the right way. So it's really also from a health perspective, super powerful. And last but not least, we have enable a high performance workforce. Of course, high performance organization are a super important buzzword, to have this company branded employee portal, that we have ensure that they get their skills they need for day-to-day life, but also to have kind of a crowdsourced knowledge sharing. And we can do all of that with Microsoft Viva, especially when we have a close look into the different modules. As I already mentioned, of course, Microsoft Viva also respect the privacy and security settings as well as the respective roles. However, we have this great potential to integrate the different other tools we have, such as SAP SuccessFactors, Workdays, LinkedIn Learning, Headspace, and many, many other third-party tools to have also this vision as a one-stop shop, or everything we do in the flow of work. And as I already mentioned, we have this goal setting part, which we can cover with Viva goals. And Viva goals is also based on the OKR. This is objective and key results. This is a specific methodology for goal setting directly into Microsoft Teams. We have Viva Engage, former Yammer, where we have this community-based approach to get aligned and exchange with your coworkers. And we have Viva Amplify, where we can then communicate in campaigns and have also the right measurements for those campaigns. I think most of you do know Viva Connections, which is your portal, your SharePoint online intranet directly integrated into Teams. Viva Learning is also super important from an upskilling perspective, because it is kind of a learning hub where everything comes together from all the different sources. And I'm going to show you this also in detail right in a few minutes in the live demo. Skills in Viva is some of the new kids in the block, where it's just joined the Viva family, but also to have this skill management, which is super helpful or super important for organization to have this also in the flow of work. Last but not least, the trio infernale from measure, engagement, and productivity. And I think those three tools are super powerful together with Viva Glint, which is the employee voice tool. We have Viva Pulse for pulse service, really ad hoc service to get a first response from the employees. So this is push and qualitative feedback from your employees. And this could be combined with Viva Insights from a quantitative perspective, because we have the capabilities, of course, with respect of privacy and security, but to then get further details and insights on your daily work. And this is where insights come into place. We have capabilities of workplace analytics, and I think it's super powerful when we combine the one hand side, the quantitative feedback, but also the qualitative feedback, and then how do they link to each other? Maybe what influence which KPI and so on, and all together are, as I already mentioned several times, super powerful and better together. But better together is not only those three tools, but better together is Copilot and Viva. Because it's not whether Viva or Copilot, but it's really Copilot and Viva. And as I mentioned, Copilot is a hot topic since 1.5 years right now. However, what we saw in a day-by-day practice, it's quite hard to onboard the new users. Of course, it's everything about change management and adoption to creating those aha moments for each and every individual. And with Viva, we boost this employee engagement and performance, because we can do all the different, or we can use all the different capabilities of Viva to then push the Copilot journey, but also the AI journey in general, from learning perspective, from great communication perspective, but also to getting deeper insight and feedback from every employee. Now I would like to change to the live demo to really get an idea how a day in a life could look like. So let's share my screen. And what we see here is I'm going to start from the Viva Connections part. This is your SharePoint online intranet portal. Maybe some of you do know the classic perspective, but here we have this modern aspect of an intranet with dashboard capabilities, but also to have this highlighted news. And this is exactly where it starts. So we want to inform our organization about launching Copilot for M365 at Contoso. I can easily jump here all or everything directly into Teams to the announcement and to the news. And what we see here is we have this combination on different aspects. So we have a Copilot Your Day community where we can share different community approaches. We have this news section here with all relevant information. And of course, also meet the Copilot crew where we can see where maybe the power users for Copilot are. So this is kind of a starting point for me as an employee. I'm just going into our intranet and then read through the news, can easily get informed and maybe just start here with Miriam a chat and ask her about any specific scenario on Copilot. But we have also this community approach here, because what we also saw is that community is really this driver on such a new environment as Copilot is. So here with Viva Engage, we are able to connect with all and every individual. We have the social aspect, for example, the Copilot passport, where I can collect my stamps and have kind of a gamification part. I can link here to a Viva Learning course. I can easily interact here with quick reaction, as we do know from other social medias. I can comment, congrats, Adele, and so on. But I can also just ask any question here. So how do I use Copilot in Word, for example, and ask the whole community. So every other person will see this question, can easily write a comment, help each other to then drive this whole Copilot Your Day community or AI circle, however you want to call it. And of course, we can also use hashtags and share maybe some helpful insights. Some of my customers use prompt of the week or the daily learnings and so on. And I think this is super helpful to drive this social aspect for a new initiative such as Copilot is. But coming from a social perspective into the upskilling perspective, and of course, Viva Learning is our place to be. What we can do here is Viva Learning integrates all the different sources. So for example, we have different learning sources such as Sabak or One, Contoso, which is our really our own content, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, and so on. Everything is integrated into one single hub. So for me as an employee, I do not know where do I find, for example, Copilot in PowerPoint or whatsoever, but I just have to go into Viva Learning and I just see all the different capabilities or courses. I can search it easily for different content. But we do have also academies. And academies, I think it's also super important. For example, you can create an onboarding academy, you can do a leadership academy, or in our perspective, you can create a Copilot academy or a Copilot Your Day academy, such as I called it. And you have here kind of a Netflix feature to promote new courses. For example, here Copilot in PowerPoint from prompt to presentation. Here it is indeed my very own course. So I'm super proud to also provide some helpful stuff on LinkedIn Learning. But what academies does is you can create different paths how to prompt or Copilot in productivity, and then deliver. For example, these are the basic stuff about prompting, and these are the advanced stuff. And then, last but not least, this social part. So first of all, you can easily add it here to your personal calendar. This is quite helpful since we've heard that we have back-to-back meetings. We do have to block our time to learn and to upskill. So here you can super easy just save a spot, for example, for the 9th of June, or maybe better on Monday, for example, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., 60 minutes. This is done automatically since here we have about 40 minutes. We can save it into our calendar, and of course you then see it directly into your Outlook calendar. But you can also easily share this course within a team. For example, when we have our Copilot crew here, I just did this course, was super helpful for me. You can just share it, and what it do is it comes directly into your teams as a message. And this is really how it connects to each other. And Microsoft Viva really helps you to communicate properly, to deliver all the relevant information, but also to strengthen the social part in such a journey. For example, how to share such a learning path as just I did, or to communicate what happened or what worked very well, what didn't work very well, and so on. And the last part I want to share is also the pulse perspective, because I think some of you do not really know Microsoft Viva Pulse. And what's super cool here is that Viva Pulse have out of the box pulses for Copilot. So we can just start here to create a new pulse. Then we see there is a template. And of course, I want to measure the Copilot impact. So here are 4 default questions where I can edit if I would like, but I can also add additional questions. I can add custom questions, or I can choose from one of the predefined. So here from a Copilot impact, I see I have on average, I use Copilot daily a few times a week, but maybe also you would like to get feedback how well informed the employees are, and also how their skills look like. And then you can just add it here. Click on next, and then share it maybe to your Copilot, your day AI circle. So every member of this community will receive the notification to please fill out this pulse. You can do an deadline. Let's take the 11th end of business, and please provide your honest feedback. Then just stand the pulse. And what we see here, it really combines all the different aspects on such a tool integration or a new integration such as Copilot. And yeah, I really see this as super important because Copilot is not click and running, rather than just really an important part to enable your workforce to do great adoption and change management, to that they do understand how to prompt properly and so on. And Viva is really your accelerator to do so. And when I'm talk about Viva, there's also a Copilot dashboard where you get further insights. So as I already mentioned, we have Viva Insights to provide additional insights, and this is also for Copilot. So for example, we see on each and every application, what was the average use, how many users use this as an action. But I can also measure the impact on maybe what impact do we have with Copilot. And here we see the integration with Viva Glint. I'm coming to that just in a minute. But also this combination between feedback and benchmark to other similar companies. And I think this is also important to maybe report to the management how the Copilot rollout works, and Viva delivers you first-hand insights on different perspective, and then combined with this qualitative feedback from Glint or Pulse, this is super, super powerful and also helpful for you to see where do you have invest more time in the future. So let's talk about Viva Glint, because I haven't covered this yet. And Viva Glint is the employee listening tool. So you are able to do constant or repetitive service to get constant feedback from your employees, and then also map it to individual personas. Of course, you cannot deep dive into one specific employee, but then aggregate to different personas such as sales or marketing and so on, and you get kind of a heat map how this work together. And as I already mentioned, Glint and Insights together is also better together, because we get this quantitative and qualitative feedback, and it really unlocks hidden insights, and it shows some correlation between those different feedbacks. Last but not least, I want to cover what's next on Viva and also Copilot. As I already mentioned, Skills in Viva is coming. It is also grounded by the LinkedIn Learning Graph, which delivers super helpful insights. And you can then do the skill management directly into Microsoft 365. And of course, this is also important when we think about accelerate AI journey with Viva. When we do accelerate something, we do need to have the right skills for the right person. And then we can map the skill management with, for example, Viva Learning or different academies or learning paths, and then also have this AI-driven approach from a skill perspective to then upscale your Copilot or AI journey in your organization. And of course, everything is into the flow of work. But Viva helps not only to accelerate your Copilot journey, but it has also Copilot integration for every module. So for example, Copilot in Viva Goals helps you to create new OKRs or to scale them end to end. In Copilot in Viva Engage helps you to create comments or new blog posts, for example, when you're not that familiar with writing new posts. It helps you to kickstart what you have or what you want to share within your community. And in Viva Learning, Copilot helps you to get feedback which learning course could be helpful for your specific case. And of course, as always, everything just in natural language. Last but not least, Copilot in Viva Glint. Let's imagine you have thousands of different answers every month. Of course, you cannot read through 10,000 different employees' feedback, but you would like to understand the higher aggregated feedback and what is the sentiment, how is the feeling within the company. And Copilot in Viva Glint helps you to analyze the feedback and to understand it better, to then also deliver helpful insight what next steps could be, and to then provide constantly improvements for your employees. And that's it with Accelerate Your AI Journey with Microsoft Viva. Once again, thank you so much, Zoe and Kevin, for this session. As I already mentioned, let's connect on LinkedIn. You find the QR code in the top bar. But I do have also my very own LinkedIn newsletter, Copilot Your Day. Every Tuesday, I provide a new episode on LinkedIn and do have already more than 2,000 subscribers. So feel free to join this community. Would really appreciate if you navigate and scroll through my different episode. And of course, hit me on LinkedIn if you have any questions about Viva, about Copilot or whatsoever. I'm super happy to help you. But I want to close this session that you all make sure that you subscribe to Copilot Connection, because Zoe and Kevin just did an awesome job in the community. And thank you so much again. And make sure to connect on LinkedIn with Zoe and Kevin to then subscribe their company page, Copilot Connection, and definitely check out the YouTube channel. They deliver super helpful insights all about Copilot. And I think there's nothing more to say than just thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And see you soon in LinkedIn, in a community event, or maybe somewhere else. And thank you so much. See you soon.